don't know about you, but at this time of year, after a lovely winter walk, all you want is a nice warm drink. So in this brand new show, we're going to take you to 12 different destinations. We're in search of the perfect cup of tea, so we're going to visit tea shops all across our county, and you're coming with us. Along the way, we shall sample copious amounts of tea and cake. But why are we doing this? To see if anyone serves the perfect tea and scones, of course. And where does our quest take us today? Right here. Today, we're visiting Foffano's, which lies underneath our very own clock tower. Thanks to Edward Pease, the railway magnate, who gifted the town the clock tower and its attached covered market in 1864, Darlington really is our very own hill valley. But that's enough Back to the Future references. We're here to sample some tea and some cake. Now, we have a sneaky feeling, because this is an Italian-owned place, that we probably won't get a scone, but we're going to get in there and we're going to find out. Are those real flowers?
Yes.
Oh, fancy. Oh, I'm shocked.
They are real.
All we need now is some tea and cake.
Okay. Although, why would you come here? Just sugar. I like the little damn jarry things, they're quite cute.
I'm going to need to let mine brew, aren't I? Yeah.
It's a nice pot.
It is,
Everything looks nice and clean.
It does, it does, it does. Are you going for it already?
Mm-hmm. It's a nice colour.
Already, gosh. That's the right sort of strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's looking good. Have you tried it yet?
Yep.
Are you
It
going
might
to
be
give
a
it a
little
go?
bit too hot.
It's too hot
You
still.
need to get the optimal temperature with the tea. If it's too hot, then
Not scalding.
no, it doesn't want to scald. It's all right.
What's this?
It's fresh cream. It's cream. I think they've put some like extra whippy cream on top.
That tastes Italian. Oh, I like it. Am I that close?
I'm just getting warm.
It's subtly lemony.
It's what?
Subtly lemony. I like it. I love that. It doesn't feel heavy at all. Even with the cream.
And the sponge was a different kind of sponge. It wasn't like a... I wonder if it was like the sponge that's the fatless sponges that I've made a few times.
We've just had some technical excitement because we are in our mobile perfect cup of tea HQ.
Otherwise known as...
The car.
The car.
So, this search has become all the more interesting.
It has.
Because now we've been into two places, both of them within a stone's throw of where we used to go, and both of them in a different league. Would you agree?
Yes.
It's shocking. I mean, we were initially quite sceptical in Foffano's, where we have of course been today, and that was because of the service.
Service.
She was a bit churlish. She was a little bit, you know...
Oh, right, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she just wasn't, I mean, perfectly fine, you know, did what we asked her to do, served us, but just not very chatty, not very friendly, not very smiley.
Not as much as the first place.
No, they were very nice.
At Cuppa's.
Yeah.
They were super, super friendly.
They were.
Yeah.
She needed to be a bit more friendly,
So
the woman today.
I think, I mean, let's go with service first of all then. Are they going to get a star for service is the question. And whilst the initial service was interesting, it did improve.
Yeah, because it was a man who... We went upstairs. There's a
Yes.
little upstairs seating area, which was very, very nice, really. And it was a man who brought the order up, and he was clearly Italian.
He was. He wasn't carrying a flag.
But he, you know,
when he spoke,
you could tell he was Italian.
either that or he was putting on an extremely good Italian accent.
Yeah, no, he looked Italian
Yeah, he
as
did.
well. Dark
He did.
hair, you know, swarthy looking.
Yes.
And you know, very, very pleasant.
Yeah.
Brought it,
Yeah.
the teas and everything, and
it was quick.
very quick. Yeah.
And the surfaces were clean,
Yeah.
but
the decoration was pretty terrible.
Yes.
And the general
ambiance. No, ambiance was okay.
It wasn't the ambience. It just needed. It was the decoration, and
Yeah.
the carpet was not massively clean. The chairs were really wobbly.
Yeah, we had to change tables.
Yeah, because the chairs were literally like that.
It's such an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think the conclusion then is that they can't get a star for service because it's been let down.
The environment,
Yes.
yeah. But then, on the other hand, it was nice and quiet up there.
Yes.
We got a nice little corner table by the window, overlooking the town.
Yes.
Which was very nice.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can always do a bit of people watching, which is always good fun.
So I think that the conclusion is that they can't get a star for service because the carpets, you know, there was a plastic bag over the vents.
Yeah.
You were sat next to a door that wasn't decorated quite right.
No.
All this sounds like it wasn't a
sound
very nice
terrible,
place.
and it wasn't
So
terrible.
I think, you know, on that note, we should segue very quickly onto taste.
Well, it was excellent.
It really
I've got to
was.
say. It was.
You even said about the tea.
It was the most lovely cup of tea, and the china was really nice. It, you know, is in a teapot. And somebody asked us this. It might have been Vanessa who asked, "Do you always, if you order a cup of tea, do you always get it in a pot? Do you always get a pot of tea?" And generally speaking, you do.
Yes.
I've never ordered tea for one and not had it in a pot.
A bag and a cup
I've never had.
and a teaspoon.
I can't imagine in this country you would ever just get a mug and a tea bag.
No.
You would always get a pot. And it was a really nice, just plain white china, very clean and lovely.
Yeah.
And the tea was really, really nice. It was actually nicer than in Cuppa's, I've got to say.
Yes.
It just
And my
was
peppermint was really
a
nice.
lovely, clean tasting cup of tea.
Whilst Cooper's may have
It
had
was
that posh
lovely.
tea unit,
Yeah.
it just wasn't strong enough.
No.
And I did leave it a while.
Yeah.
So they either hadn't put enough in. So, you know, this was a bag, but it was lovely. Yeah. So I think... and the cake.
Oh, the cake.
We couldn't get a scone.
Didn't have a scone.
No.
But we got a piece of lemon cake.
Delicious.
It was very nice.
Light.
Very light. I think it was a fatless sponge. Do you know you can make sponges that don't have butter in? It was just really light, and it was lemon flavoured, and it had like cream, whipped. It was whipped cream, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With a sprinkling of sort of cocoa on top.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, drink taste definitely gets a star.
Definitely.
And we couldn't have a scone, so cake taste also most definitely gets a star.
Yes.
Now, cleanliness, we've sort of spoken about this a little bit on the service.
Yeah, it wasn't... I mean, the carpet had crisp crumbs on, but I suppose that could have just happened.
It was at the end of the day.
Yeah, so, you know, I don't think we can mark them down for that. It wasn't unclean.
No. So they've probably got to get a star for cleanliness.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't.
The tables, you know how sometimes you go into certain places and the
they're
tables
sticky.
feel tacky.
They weren't like that.
No. And, you know, the crockery felt clean and it felt quite new.
Yeah, it did.
And actually, of course, what blew it for bins for us, where we used to go for our cups of tea,
everything was dirty.
Yeah,
everything was dirty.
Clearly, the washer that was broken. So, a star for cleanliness, and the last star is, of course, for price.
Gosh, it was cheap as chips. I couldn't believe it.
And I actually said to Kay, this is something that always worries me. There's a price for everything, isn't there? And I worry when I emotionally buy into something if there's a chance it might disappear. And the prices they're charging...
Well, I had a pot of tea, Dan had a pot of peppermint tea, and we shared a piece of lemon cake, and it cost £4.70.
That's nuts.
I mean, that is crazy.
It would cost you £4.70 for a coffee in a Starbucks.
I was going to say, if you went to Starbucks, you would pay the best part of £4 just for one drink, wouldn't you? So,
Yeah.
you know, price was absolutely phenomenal,
So
really.
it's 4 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
It's a tie with Cuppa's, but if I was to ask you, KK,
KK?
if I was to ask you, Kay,
Yeah.
where would you prefer to go for a drink and something to eat? Would it be Cuppa's or would it be Foffano's?
Well, it would probably be Foffano's. I wish they'd done a scone,
Yes.
but the cake was very nice.
It was
and
delicious.
They had a coffee cake or they had lemon, and we went for
Yeah.
lemon.
Yeah.
So
And I completely concur with Kay. I would definitely go to Foffano's ahead of
the
Cuppa's.
tea was definitely better, and for me, that's the clincher, really.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're a tea drinker, then you know if you find somewhere that does a really nice cup of tea, then it's lovely.
Whereas for me, it's all about the environment that I'm sat in. And I had a lovely seat. There was no one close by. It was relatively quiet. The music wasn't too loud. And I had a nice view out onto the street.
Yeah.
So I would definitely go to Foffano's first. So we're 2 months in and we've already found 2 places way better than anywhere else we've ever had a cup of tea in the last 10
True,
years.
yeah, and we've never been into these places.
We haven't.
So it's been brilliant.
We
for
haven't.
us.
It absolutely has. So the lesson that we've learnt already is look outside of your comfort zone because you don't know what gems you're going to find.
No.
And who knows where we're going to end up next month.
A different town, I'm sure.
Well, maybe not.
Well,
maybe not. You
Maybe
know.
we'll find something else.
Well, there's loads more, Kate. There's loads more.
Is there?
Yes.
All right.
There's the Wandering Duck up on the corner. There's Imperial Express.
Oh, yes,
Which we've never been in
Imperial
before
Express.
for a cup of tea.
No, that's true.
So it's Imperial Express. And there's more than that as well. There's also a place called the Townhouse, which is down near
Oh, right.
Yes. You see.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next month with another episode on our hunt for the perfect cup of tea. We'll see you then.